Okay. Check. I think we online. Okay, I can definitely see myself. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me well. On the YouTube. I think... Let me switch the channels so I can see myself too. Okay, we're gonna go react to modern dating. It's complicated. Here we go.
When it comes to dating and relationships, who is typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
They're all gonna say the woman.
The woman.
Ooh, the woman for sure.
The woman. The woman.
By the way, in mental health, if you make anything a price, you put someone on the pedestal and you're gonna hurt your mental health. So you're gonna chase validation, which shows your brain that you value another person more than yourself. And then your brain will support you in that by giving you more feelings of insecurity, because the brain will always support you in what you're doing. And if you are chasing the validation, the brain will support you in chasing validation. So how can it help you support more in chasing validation? It just gives you more urges to chase validation and more feelings of insecurity. Because it gives you more feelings of insecurity, you chase more validation, because the brain only cares about what you spent your time on, what actions you do, what behaviors you do. And what behaviors you do, that's what it thinks is what you want to do. So by you showing it that you're chasing another person, putting another person on a pedestal, chasing their validation by trying to impress them, talking away to try to impress them, you are showing the brain that you value another person more, and your brain's going to support that. But if instead you're making it about what you value, you don't make the mental concept about a price, this person's a price, that person's a price, you take your locus of control back and say, I share myself in a way that I value with any emotions and thoughts. You're showing yourself, your brain, that you value yourself, and the brain will support you in that.
The woman.
So if the woman is the prize, what would that make the man?
The wallet.
Look at her face. I just wanted you to see her face. Like, this is not the kind of woman you want to date. Like, she's literally proud of what she says. All these answers, by the way, even the answer she just gave, is coming from emotions. She wants to boost her ego. She wants to make it, yes, girls slay, they're the best, they're better than men. She wants to build up her identity as a queen, which is another mental concept. But that's not going to be a good relationship, because you literally make it about a concept instead of growing together, sharing values, and setting values that both of you guys can grow towards.
Doesn't that place the man at a lower value and status to the woman?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Look, like, why is she... This is... You got to ask yourself, like, why is she so proudly saying, yes, we are better. We are better. We are better. Look at me. I'm the queen. They want to like raise their market value in the eyes of other people so they seem more requested. That's the same pattern actually that a lot of I've seen from Joey Swell on social media, where a lot of women go to the gym and film themselves and take the footage when like a man looked at them or tried slightly looked at them, and then they make it like bigger than it is in the editing. And then they say, look, all these men looking at me. And they make it seem creepy, as if like, and some of it could be creepy, right? But most of the things that we see on the Joey Swell channel aren't creepy. It's literally women trying to frame the man watching at them. And why do they do it? Because they want to raise their sexual market value.
Don't women typically want to date a man on her level or higher?
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't women typically want to date a man who's a prize and not a loser?
No, I like to be...
Look, she just thought. This is how you can tell when people don't think things through. Like, we should have all thought this through beforehand. But when people give answers based on emotions and based on opinions and never think things through, that's the kind of answers you get. Because I don't care if we have different opinions, but at least when you talk to me, like, people need to think things through, but they never want it because it's hard to think things through. And it's hard to come to your own conclusion. And you rather just repeat what your friends are saying.
So if a woman declares herself the prize, isn't that relationship destined to fail?
No.
Not necessarily. It depends on who she's dating. If she's dating a guy who, puts women on a pedestal and sees them as like the end-all be-all, then that's on them. And whatever works for them, as long as they're happy, they're happy. But, a guy who knows his worth, they're not going to go for that.
Well, if the woman is the prize, wouldn't that make the man a simp?
Yes, and there are simps in this world. Like, if there are high-value men and other people who respect themselves.
But do you think that women want to date a simp?
Some women do. Some women want to be alpha and a boss bitch,
I mean, it depends on the male. If the male is like a beta, then he just gonna suck it up and follow behind the female. But if he's an alpha, he gonna...
Even this whole beta and alpha thing is like literally making mental concepts in your head. Oh, what am I? Am I acting this way? Am I alpha? But you're the most alpha if you just act on the things you value and you don't try to be alpha in other people's eyes, in other women, you alpha when you like respect yourself. I love what Andrew Tate said recently. He said that someone messaged him, guys messaged him and asked him, how should I act with her? She just disrespected me. And he said, why do you think about acting? Why do you have to act? You should be pissed off for real, or better said, respect yourself for real, because they get disrespected and they only think about how can I keep that relationship? How can I keep this woman? How can I keep her even though she hurts my self-respect? And it's the same with women, the other way around. If your boyfriend disrespects you, right? And you make it about, no, but I don't want to lose him and all that. Like, it's literally being an addict to emotions. It's being a slave to another person. It's being a slave to another person, and you think you're chasing happiness through another person.
I'm not taking that.
Because I think, actually, I know I'm a prize.
Look at her. She's my favorite. She's just trying to boost her ego. This is like trying to make yourself feel better if you're insecure.
So I think that a man should value me for what I am.
So why does
I think that a man should value me. I do agree, but why do you say, like, you don't say like value me for who I am? And it's always like, what can this person do for me? Instead of two people growing the relationship by asking themselves, okay, what can I give to myself, but also what can I give to the other person?
women go around declaring themselves the prize?
Because they have pussies. It's much harder to find a high-value man than it is an average woman. I can f*** any girl out here, but for her to find a man who has clout, status, money, influence, all that personality and whatnot, is way harder. Who's funny, tall, 6 foot, physical.
And this is, by the way, mostly superficial, and it's also mostly for a certain area of society, because the women they talk about are not women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. What we're talking about here are women whose value is beauty. And for women in society, that's what society deems as their biggest value. For me, it's part of the value, but for me, a big value for me is too, I want to have a competent woman, a woman who's also loyal, like certain values. But a lot of women or like men get upset if they see these things, but they don't understand that this is not even about them. So as hard as it sounds, if you're not in the area of being like a hot woman in your 20s, modern dating like YouTube's, it's just not going to be about people in their, like women in their 30s, 40s, maybe in their early 30s, barely. But that's not me saying that, right? That's just what most men chase, right? And it's biological, right? They want the young genes, the young, healthy person for good offspring. And then the woman, for a man, it's harder because a man has to tick off a lot of boxes. But it's actually not that important for the man to be that good looking. If he has a lot of competence, if he has a lot of social status, a lot of followers, makes a lot of money, but it needs to be being fit. It needs to be all of it together. but we're talking about a certain area of society, if that makes sense.
Man, it's way hard for her to find that.
Why do so many women think they have the golden pussy when every woman has one?
Entitlement. Name of the game. Straight up.
Do you believe in gender equality?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How can men and women ever be equal if pussy costs more money than dick?
I honestly don't think we will ever be equal. I think that that is a dream that we would love to have, and that's something that we can pursue and fight for. But I don't truly think that we will ever be.
Why do people want to be equal? I don't understand it. Why do they make these concepts? Why can't we not all be ourselves? Independently, every single one. Why do we have to make all these ratios in society, all these labels of this is how a man should behave, this is how a woman should behave, this is how this person should behave? No, do whatever the fuck you value. Do what you want to do. What do you want to spend your time on? Okay? You spend your time on what you want to spend your time on. But if you're a man who wants to have success with a certain brainwashed area of women in society, then you would need to play society's game. But at the same time, why don't you do the things that you value? Give a lot of value. Make yourself an amazing person. And then you have a lot of options. And as a woman, I can help you with your mental health as a woman, but I don't right now don't actually want to speak what women should do for dating. I could tell you a lot of things where I'm mistaken. There's a lot of things that are lacking in a lot of modern women right now, like loyalty, like actions of love, and a lot of them act on just their emotions. But that's the same thing with men, by the way. I'm not going on women. Most men and most women act on addictive behavior. Men act on porn, OnlyFans. Women act on getting male attention, twerking on the camera, trying to be beautiful, trying to chase validation. Most of them, right? And then there's a small amount of people who actually do the things they value. And that's the people I want to hang out with.
Treated the same. I don't think that's possible.
How likely will women pay for dick or make pussy free?
I don't think they will ever have to pay for dick because I feel like men just always want it, so we could just get it whenever we want, versus men can't.
The reason why I don't like this interview so much is because he's asking these girls, and these girls, they haven't thought things through, and they don't think things through because they're just regurgitating information what's acceptable in society, right? And if you do that, you will not ruffle any feathers, so to say. But then if you go on the side of agreeing with a lot of things Andrew Tate says, then you ruffle feathers. But mostly a lot of people who agree with Andrew Tate says are people who think for themselves, right? I don't agree with everything he says, but there's some great understandings there. And by the way, watch his videos. He's not only talking about girls. A lot of the things he's talking about is business, being loyal, having friends, all kinds of things.
Till they get it whenever they want.
So then what are we fighting for?
Equal pay.
Yeah.
Man, we kind of.
Look it up. Look up about equal pay. Look the studies. They show that there's no such thing as a wage gap. And people will get mad. No. Look it up. Inform yourself on YouTube. But not with the brainwashed activists on the left or the complete right. Right? I'm not Democrat or Republican. Think for yourself.
Women, so
let's see if we find.
It's kind of one of those things. So women should love their bodies, should do what they want with their bodies, and I mean, I guarantee you, if you walk up to.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying if
Why
they were
is
just
she?
themselves, why do you often see women walk?
View. This is for me, and this is what I feel most comfortable in. This is not an invitation.
Oh, I saw this on a clip. We gotta watch this. This is hilarious.
A lot.
Look how she's
Also a good guy.
building her,
that's there to save.
digging
Yeah.
a
But
hole
aren't
now.
most
Watch
cops and
this.
soldiers men?
Watch this.
Yes.
What percentage of men that you encounter catcall you?
A lot.
Probably 85%.
We were just touched multiple times just walking.
Some guy grabbed my nose about 20 minutes ago.
It is a pretty nose, I will give you that.
Thank you. Look at it from the side.
That was
How often do
smooth.
you fear
W interviewer.
safety when a man catcalls you?
100%.
All the time.
Now, I'm not excusing it. Why is catcalling such a big deal?
I think catcalling is such a big deal because I'm not out here dressed like this. You can give a little pan of the outfit. This is not for others' view. This is for me, and this is what I feel most comfortable in. This is not an invitation for you to come objectify me or decide that this body is meant for you. It's mine.
Okay, and that's fair. I agree with that. Now, for a lot of women who say they dress for themselves, why do you often see women walking around in uncomfortable shoes and skimpy outfits when it's freezing outside?
Because I made that money, and I'm going to spend that money on some cute heels. And I worked on this body, and I'm going to show it off.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying if they were dressing for...
I worked on this body and I want to show it off. Show it off to other people. Chasing the validation of other people. It comes from trying to make feelings feel better. It's a compulsion.
Wouldn't they be comfortable?
Yeah. I think that me in heels looks a lot better than me in just a pair of sweatpants. I do.
Looks a lot better for other people. If you would do it for yourself, you wouldn't like hurt you or freeze your butt off, your ass off.
Feel better, and that is still for me. Even if it's not the most comfortable, it feels good to me.
If a woman...
It feels good to her. This is how shallow society is. Watch this. It feels good to her because she gets validation boosts. I saw this documentary about this kid who's a 12-year-old, 9-year-old, and they say he's a trans kid, right? Drag. And the parents say, yeah, that's just who he is. That's who he is. If he gets validation from a young age for anything, you don't think he's going to want to keep doing it? How do we find out if it's organically what that person wants to do? We're going to only find it out if we ask the person, are you trying to chase validation? Are you trying to make a feeling feel better? Would you feel good enough even if you wouldn't dress up like this? Or do you have the need to do it? Even if it's once in a while, even if it's once a week, once every 2 weeks. Because then you're chasing validation. And that will cause more insecurity. Because the brain's like, oh, they love to chase validation. And then when they don't feel good enough, when they don't feel sexy enough, they try to go out and get more validation. So let's make them feel less sexy, because then they go out there and get more validation, because that's what they want to do. That's what the brain does. The brain will always support you in what you're doing. And if you are trying to make a feeling feel better, and you actually, if you manage it, that's even more fucked up. And the reason for that is, if you manage to get that high, the brain's like, oh, we got happy. How can we get more happy? I want you to be happy all the time. So what happened? I gave them an urge that they're not sexy enough. They dress themselves up in a sexy way, go out to get validation. Let's give them more urges that they're not good enough, that they're not sexy enough, that they need to chase validation through their body. I think we're done over here.
Lots of sexy photos on her dating profile and no bio. Should she be surprised if guys are only contacting her for hookups?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Definitely not.
Why not?
Because she's kind of asking for that attention.
Is she not?
Yeah, did you guys know that Tinder is just and Bumble is the biggest scam? Because women don't actually, most women on there don't even look for dating on there or like going on dates. They just ask for how many matches do they get? How many guys can they get? And they boost their validation. It's sick. It's fucking sick.
Herself in the same fashion if she's out walking the streets in a slutty outfit?
No.
No.
So why would it make a difference if you're online or out in public?
Because you're posting those photos for like a specific dating app while you're walking outside. It's like how you want to dress.
I dress this way because I want to dress this way for me and not for anyone else. And
I think it's great if you dress, if she's really true about this, I think that's great. And I kind of believe her the way she said it. If you do it for your own value, if you dress in a way because you like this, then do it, because that's a healthy way to do it. You're doing things that you value, no matter what other people say. But if other people say, oh, we don't like the thing you wear, and you change it because of other people, you're still chasing validation. Okay? I think we get out of here now. I just want to make a short reaction today. I get annoyed by these people, to be honest. But I think it's very helpful to share these things with you guys. I'm going to look at the chat real quick. Let me see the chat. If you guys are here. If anybody is on here, I know a lot of people watch later. or if I'm even online. Yeah, 13 are watching. Okay. Today, I get annoyed. Why can I not see my... Oh, nice. Okay, guys. That's good. I'll see you guys. I hope the camera was good too for you guys. I'm going to check it out. But yeah, I wish you guys a beautiful night and have fun. Have fun. Whatever you're doing. Do the things you value. Love yourself.